Hey, this is JC. Welcome to Missed Again, where every missed shot is a lesson. It's not about perfect play, it's about my struggles and honest progress. Today, I'm not going to discuss my missed shots. In fact, I'm going to do the exact opposite and show you 4 trick shots to fake it as a pool master and amaze laymen. The key word here is laymen. These shots are not designed to be shown to advanced pool players, so please don't show these at your local pool league games. However, if you want to impress drunk people at a bar or your mum or wife to explain why you spend so much time at a pool parlor, then these trick shots will be perfect. I did not invent any of these trick shots, but I've added some original elements to some of them to make them easier or more showy. The criteria for these 4 shots are: first, they're easy to perform. If I can do them, you can too. Second, they'll impress laymen whose knowledge of pool is limited. You can say these shots have mass audience appeal, like a summer blockbuster movie. Finally, they're easy and fast to set up. Nothing is worse than taking 5 minutes to set up a shot and then miss. It is anticlimactic and a letdown. Alright, let's get on with the trick shots. The first trick shot is called the rack drop shot, and it's perfect to perform at the start of a game to intimidate a casual player. The object ball goes 3 rails and knocks the cue ball out of position to complete the rack. The key to this shot is to consistently perform a 3-rail shot. But don't worry, it's easy once you know how. First, you want to place the ball you're shooting at in the path or track that lines up between 2 diagonal corner pockets. You can choose either side, but in this demonstration, I'm using the bottom right corner pocket to the top left corner pocket from my perspective. Next, you need to know where to hit on the first rail to get 3 rails back to the top of the rack. And you must shoot with running English, in this case 2 o'clock. If I was shooting on the other side of the table, I would shoot at 10 o'clock. This is something you must secretly test beforehand. It is similar to a basic test that most players will test when they play at a new table, and that is to figure out exactly where to hit the rail to go 3 rails back to a bottom corner pocket. This is to test if the table is on for this 3-rail system. In most tables, the second diamond usually is the point to aim for. However, in my experience on the tables in Southeast Asia, it tends to be higher, usually half a diamond up towards the first diamond. It could be due to the high humidity. However, for this shot, you're not targeting the bottom corner pocket, but you're testing for the ball to hit 3 rails and travel to hit the empty space at the top of the triangle. In my case, I have to shoot past the first diamond to get to the right position. You should be able to figure out the right spot in 2 or 3 tries. Next, you have to prepare the rack. Assuming you're playing a 15-ball game like 8-ball, rack as usual but leave the first ball out. Lift the top of the triangle and place the cue ball under it to the side. You do not want to put it directly under the top center of the triangle but off to the side. You want to create that space. You also want to use a wooden triangle for this shot, not a plastic one which is too light. Here's a top view of the setup. When you're ready to perform the shot, place the ball you're shooting at on the right track and aim for the spot you tested for earlier. Shoot with running English with a medium stroke. I got this shot every time during the filming of this video. The next shot is the classic split shot 2-in-1 to corner pockets. But to make it really impressive to laymen, use a handkerchief to perform a covered split shot. This raises the difficulty only marginally but increases the wow factor many times over. To set up the classic split shot, you'll use the head spot as a reference point. Place both balls so that they are frozen together. This is important. Make sure the point where the 2 balls meet is in line with the center of the top left pocket. You can use your cue as a visual guide, but with experience, you can just sight it. Next, make sure the top ball is in line with the center of the top right pocket. Depending on how hard you hit the ball, throw might cause the ball to veer off higher, so you can also cheat the pocket slightly and line it up slightly lower down. If you set it up correctly, a solid hit to the bottom ball with no side spin should squeeze the bottom ball into the top left pocket and combo the top ball to the top right pocket. To perform the covered version, set the balls up as before and carefully drape the handkerchief over the balls. If you're using a large handkerchief as I am, make sure to offset the material so that there's less material draped between the balls and the pockets. Make sure the front of the hanky is flat with no creases. When the balls are covered, you can sight a spot on the rail as a reference point. In this case, I sight a spot about 1 inch to the left of the center diamond. Hit the cue ball firmly without side spin with a medium stroke. As you can see, it doesn't always work. So reset and try again. Set up the balls, double check the lines and cover them with a handkerchief. Sight the position on the rail if you need and line up the shot. Obviously, I intended to make that double kiss shot, so I'll take that as a win. This shot is a 3-rail combo shot and uses techniques shared in the first 2 shots. It takes elements of both those shots to create a new shot. 2 balls are frozen together and lined up towards the bottom left-hand pocket, that is, from the camera's perspective. While you do not need to, I place a 3rd ball at the jaws of the target pocket as a pocket hanger. This makes the shot easier as you have much more room for error. Ironically, to the lay audience, this will seem even more impressive because you'll be performing a double combo shot. You're now going to perform a 3-rail shot, almost identical to the one in the first trick shot, the rack drop shot. The contact path is very close to the top of the rack position from before, but you have to adjust to aim for the target pocket instead of the top of the triangle. Put the cue ball in the same corner-to-corner pocket path and aim for your reference spot on the first rail. Use running English with a medium stroke. I did not practice the shot, but I'm using the memory from the rack drop shot to make an adjustment to where to hit on the first rail. Notice the hit was decent, but the combo missed the pocket path, but the 8-ball pocket hanger did go in as intended. The lay audience will still be wowed by this, and I got this on my first try. The final trick shot is a version of the railroad shot. It is technically very simple, but has a lot of production value due to the setup and is a crowd pleaser. As you can see, the 9-ball is at the mouth of the bottom corner pocket. There are 3 house cues set up on the table. A row of 3 balls are blocking the cue ball from a direct path to the 9-ball. The goal is to hit the cue ball and pocket the 9-ball. Here's the setup of the railroad using the 3 house cues. Set up 2 cues side by side with the butts nested into the corner pocket opposite the target pocket. Make sure the 2 cues line up perfectly with the target pocket. Take the 3rd cue and place the butt in the same pocket with the other 2 cues and open it up at an angle. This cue will be the receiving guide cue to direct the cue ball around the pocket onto the 2 lined up cues. The 3 balls on the table are just window dressing. The cue ball is placed behind the balls, but in the same track line used in the first and third trick shot, and this is for the same 3-rail shot. Yes, it is exactly the same shot, but I'm on the opposite side of the table now. Line up the cue ball in the corner-to-corner pocket path, and this time, all you need to do is aim for around the first diamond. The difficulty of this shot is controlling the speed of the cue ball. If it is not fast enough, the cue ball may not make it up the railroad, as in this case. Conversely, if you hit the cue ball too hard with too much speed, this might happen. Hitting with just the right speed will get the cue ball on the railroad, and if you set up the cues properly, it will make the target ball. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed these 4 trick shots and can use them to fake it as a pool master. If you win any bets, make sure I get 10%. Which is your favorite of these trick shots? Let me know in the comments below. Do you have any trick shots to recommend that fit a similar criteria? They should be easy to execute, will impress a lay audience, and are fast to set up. Let me know as well. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. It will really help the channel out. Every miss makes us better, so let's grow together. My name is JC. Try not to miss again.